Well, hello there, folks. How are you? It's lovely to see you again as usual. So, thanks for popping over just to check out this fabulous recipe. And I do hope that I find you very well indeed. So, today I've made a batch of these Viennese Whirls. I loved these as a kid, and Mr Kipling were my absolute favourite. But I decided to give them a go to see how easy they were and how they compare to the shop bought. They're the finest, it's such a fine biscuit with a sweet but slightly salty vanilla buttercream and fabulous raspberry jam. These are absolutely epic. So for the biscuits, you're going to need some unsalted soft butter. I've got some plain flour, some corn flour, and also icing sugar. The combination of the icing sugar and the corn flour is going to give your biscuits that lovely, light, fine texture, and also some vanilla. And then for the filling, again, we're using butter and the icing sugar. That's going to give you your buttercream filling. And then we're also going to add some vanilla to that as well. And then I'm going to add some jam, and I'm also going to add in some dessert sauce as well, just to make it extra fruity. I am using a silicone baking mat, and it's got the wee handy circles on the top to give me the size that I'm going to need. But if you don't have one of these, just draw some circles on greaseproof paper and flip it over. It'll work just the same way. You'll need one of these nozzles. This is an open star tip nozzle. It's quite wide, and you will need quite a wide nozzle so that your mixture can get through. And I'm going to use this nozzle for the buttercream, but you can use one of these or just spoon it on with a spoon. It's up to you. But whatever you end up doing, you're going to need to use some nice soft butter. So make sure you've got nice room temperature butter before we start. So pop your butter into the bowl, and to that we're going to sift on the icing sugar. Again, this is going to help keep your biscuits lovely and light and give you that fine texture that are signature with Viennese Whirls. Pop in your vanilla, and you want to, give this a good whisk until it's well combined. This will take you about 5 minutes, and it'll go lovely and pale and almost white. Halfway through, scrape your bowl down with a spatula, and then just go back and keep on whisking away until it goes nice and pale and fluffy, just like this. And then you can move on and combine your plain flour and your corn flour together in a bowl. You just want to give that a wee stir with a spoon. Sift this a couple of times in a different bowl, obviously, with a sieve, and you'll get this lovely fine texture. Again, it's all about creating a nice light, airy, fine texture, and all of these things really do help when they're all combined together. So you want to pop this mixture in 3 stages. Drop a quarter of your mixture in and give it a good mix through with your spatula, and just keep going until it's just combined. Then add some more of your flour and your corn flour into your sieve. Pass it through your sieve, and again, just fold your mixture together until it's just combined and no more. And then the last of your flour and corn flour, run it through the sieve. And again, just fold it together nice and gently. Don't overmix this because you could end up with tough biscuits. So just until it's combined, and then you can stop. And I was really happy with this, and it's got a lovely soft texture. So you can go ahead and pop that into your piping bag. The easiest way I've found of doing this, just pop it into a glass, and it'll keep it upright. Give it a wee shake just to get all of your mixture down to the bottom. You may not get it all in one go. I had to do mine in 2 goes. Give it a wee squeeze just to make sure it's flowing nicely. And if it isn't, you can just massage the bag, and heat it up a wee bit, and that should, make it flow a wee bit better. So go over to your silicone mat or your paper, whatever you're using, and just pipe on some circles. Then you can pop them into the oven for between 12 and 15 minutes on gas mark 4 or 180°C. And don't they look fantastic? I was really happy with these, and they have retained a lot of their height. Like I said in the beginning, this is the first time that I've done this. So if I can do this, you can definitely do this. Just take your time. It really isn't difficult. Just, start from the outside and work your way in to the centre. As you can see, it's really quite easy. So once you're happy, you can pop these onto a wire rack and let them cool completely. Turn half of them upside down for your jam, and the other half will be for your top. So we're going to get the buttercream done now. So again, into a bowl, pop some nice butter. This is room temperature butter, so it's quite soft. And then on top of that, we're going to pop the icing sugar. That just goes in there. You don't have to sift this, it's just for the filling. Then I like to add a dash of salt if I'm making this kind of sweet buttercream. It just helps to sort of cut down on the sweetness a wee bit. And then back in with some vanilla and give this a good whisk together until it's nice and pale and fluffy. Just go in halfway again with your spatula just to make sure everything is off the bottom and off the sides, and then just go back in until you're happy. And I was happy with this. It's nice and pale and light and fluffy, and it's going to stand up when it's been piped, you know. So if yours is quite runny looking, you can add in some more icing sugar just to stiffen it up. And again, just pop it into your icing bag, give it a wee squeeze just to make sure it's all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to use a combination of seedless raspberry jam and this lovely raspberry dessert sauce, because the dessert sauce is extra fruity and it just gives another level to your filling. So I'm just going to do this. So 2 tablespoons of each and give those a good stir together. Now we can go on to the sandwiching. So select a top and select a bottom. I'm going to put the jam on the bottom and the cream on the top, just so that, you know, when you sandwich them together, the jam isn't running all over the cream. And because I've got a wee hole in the middle, this is just what my piping nozzle has created. I'm going to add another wee blob of jam in the centre as well, and it just helps, you know, it helps to hold the lid on. So just do that for all your biscuits. Like I said, I'm putting the jam on the bottom and the cream on the top, so that when I turn it upside down, you know, the jam doesn't run all over the cream, and it just looks a wee bit neater. So yeah, this doesn't take long at all. Like I said, I am using a piping nozzle for the cream, but you don't have to do that. If you don't have one of these nozzles, you can easily just use a spoon or any nozzle you like. It depends how neat and tidy you want them. And that's them done. So all I have to do is pop them back onto a wire rack, because the last thing we're going to do is decorate the top with some icing sugar, and that's them done. These can be kept in an airtight container for up to a week. That's if they last that long, because these are actually all gone now. They were absolutely fabulous. Highly recommended if you do like a Viennese Whirl. You know, they're just wonderful. And if you like the Mr Kipling ones, you're going to love them, because I reckon these are even nicer. You know, and plus they're fresh as well. You've just made them, so they're going to be better. So do let me know if you're planning and giving those ones a go. And just before I leave you, I wanted to say, as usual, a huge thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, to the channel members here on YouTube as well, and for you all for watching and leaving your lovely comments and sharing the videos and all the wonderful things that you do. And I will catch up with you during the week for another wee recipe, or back on Saturday for our shopping unbagging, or back on Sunday for our family meals of the week. But whenever you choose to join me again, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you off soon back here on What's for Tea. Take care. Bye now.